This might not be a good review. I don't know. I don't care. I'm gonna just watch. I'm gonna comment as I go along. Dreamweaver Ocular Miracle sequel. So you're in you're in space, I would assume, right? I feel like the first like 20 seconds of this level will probably be really boring. It's all low gravity too, so it's like, I guess it makes sense. This doesn't seem that bad so far. Yeah, this part seems alright. Okay, yeah, this feels a lot like Tide in Ocular Miracle, so I do like this a lot. I don't really like this though. Okay, yeah, I feel like the first drop started incredibly strong, right? And then it just got progressively worse. And then it got brought back with X-Void, but then not as much as you would want it to, because it's still flowy. The song isn't flowy, it's very it's kind of like breakbeat. There's a lot of things that start and stop very abruptly, and there's not really something to flow with, right? It's just a general problem. Like, if we go back to the start, this does not flow at all, right? It has very start and stop movement. A lot of speed changes, a lot of spider gameplay as well, which helps with breakbeat type of gameplay. So that helps a lot with song representation and like generally feeling like you're actually playing the song rather than playing a level attached to the song. And then this part really annoys me because it takes all the verticality that this part takes advantage of and does nothing with it. I guess that's more of a cohesion problem than an actual level problem, but I feel like it's a missed opportunity with the part. It's just kind of sad. Like, I can see the spider goes off screen for a second, but like, that's not a lot compared to the fact that you could just do anything and you choose to be restrained to the regular old dual bounds anyway. Just kind of jarring, I guess. And the fact that the gameplay flows really well here, which is not something I would have expected to see at this part, because again, this part of the song's a lot like breakbeat. It's a lot start stop, abrupt, not flowy. It's very sharp, very quick. And we get to X-Void's part, which kind of remedies a lot of the problems with the verticality issue, but then the style of gameplay that they make, it's still very flowy, but it's also kind of like speedcore. So it's like a mix of speedcore and flow. Kind of doesn't work at all in this case. It works at the surface level, but then when you look closer for a second, it just stops working entirely, right? Because again, this part of the song should be speedcore, it should be very fast gameplay, but it also should be similar to breakbeat, something like the Yandere's Puppet Show by Acid Notation. This is a lot like that in the way that it starts and stops. Even the Yangire, I'm pretty sure, does start and stop gameplay a lot better than this. And the Yangire is not Ocular Miracle 2, which Ocular Miracle was a groundbreaking level. I guess you have a lot of weight to lift when it comes to this level. At the same time, there should be like a bare minimum. Like, I'm coming in from this as a gameplay creator, not a player. And then you get to Zero SR's part, and he has a very, I wouldn't say it's a problem, but it's just a lot of smooth movements. And again, it's like a breakbeat type part for the song, and it doesn't work. It's too smooth for the song post-drop. The interlude parts of this level so far, they've been really interesting. The part from the low gravity, it's been really interesting. Because if I'm being honest, the low gravity just feels like a really cheap way to make you feel like you're in space. Rather than like this part just showed now, where you just have objects floating. Look at this! That's a better way to make you feel like you're in space. And the gravity trigger just feels like a very cheap way of doing that. It's very low effort. And I say that, this part still uses the gravity trigger, but it doesn't use it throughout the whole thing. It uses it for like a minor effect. Everdani's part. Yeah, apart from the background and the shaders, they feel way too similar. And I feel like that is just a problem that he has. It's a very simple type of gameplay. Not as an insult, not as like a compliment or anything. It's just a very simple gameplay style. Macaron's next. I'm excited for this. See, I like this. Lots of spider gameplay. Lots of spider gameplay. That is perfect for this song. As I've said earlier, breakbeat, stop and start. Spider, what is that? The most instantaneous game mode in the entire game. So just use it. I'm trying like really hard to look past the fucking shader abuse in this part and the camera abuse, but it's just so obtrusive that it's making it difficult to. Why is there an invisible teleporter here? Line up your fucking gameplay better. If you need to use an invisible teleporter, odds are you can just line up your gameplay better. Teleportals that are invisible, they're very lazy, and I'm guilty of using them because I'm lazy too. For a level of this high caliber, I would have expected something better than that. Also, the gameplay doesn't really sync that well here, and it's kind of hard to tell because of the shaders and the camera being so obtrusive. I'm really hoping that the next part is like something that will absolutely blow me away though, because if it isn't, I'm just gonna be leaving this extremely sad. Yeah, I think I'm leaving this disappointed then. Vantablack's previous stuff, when like Cycle Hectanon, that stuff was good, but they've transitioned more into just generic gameplay. Generic flow, generic effects, generic blah blah blah. This is one of the parts that I have seen Scripto. I do like Scripto's part a bit, but that might change because I have context to the rest of the level now. I never listened to the song before this, so... Okay, no, yeah, Scripto's part is still good. I still think it's pretty good, yeah. I wouldn't say it's gotten worse with the context, but oh, Zaro. Zaro is in fact my goat, so let's hope he's made something good. It's decent. Okay. The part before this part, I fucking despise. Something about it just aggravates me. I have no idea what it is. Now this part, however, this part made me happy because this actually does stuff. Like, I like this part. I'd say this is probably not my favorite. Oh, Jonathan GD. Because what he usually makes is XXL levels, 6-minute levels, 7-minute levels, blah blah blah. And so he has to spread himself thin. So I understand that. So if this part is better than what I'm thinking, fair to him. Fair dues. Okay, it's not what I expected, but it's also within my expectations. That makes sense. It's about as good as I thought it would be. Hey, Britank 88, I've seen this part. I gotta say, he knows what he's doing when it comes to random ass shit like this. And it's really cool to see. Like, this is probably the second best part in the level, I would say. Except for that ending with corridor. That ending corridor, I despise. And that's the level. Okay, final thoughts. If I were to give this level a rating, it's like a 7 or 8 out of 10. I can't say that I'm fully disappointed, but I can't say that I'm fully impressed or like excited to see this decorated. My expectations coming into this were low because it's Ocular Miracle. How do you make a sequel to that kind of level, you know? It's such a monumental level in Geometry Dash history that the fact that you're trying to make a sequel to it, you're just dooming yourself to failure. There's no real way to do it correctly. But I think what's been done here is not the best effort that could have been put in. I think it could be better, both as a level and as a sequel. I think it could be better. I think the usage of the gravity trigger in the beginning parts is extremely gimmicky though, and I wish that more parts did the whole objects floating in space type of thing, which is a lot more natural feeling than the gravity trigger. I'm hoping that will be remedied in Deco, but apart from that, and just the general first drop being extremely jarring to watch. Actually, I'm dropping it to a 6 out of 10 because that first drop it started off so well, such a good start, and then it just tanked because then you just got from actual gameplay that represented the stop-start nature of the song. I'll mute the gameplay, I'll go to 0 SR's part because that was like my biggest problem, and you will not be able to tell that it's breakbeat or anything of the like. You cannot tell. You just look at this and you just see fast gameplay. I know I might sound biased towards the speedcore gameplay. I don't actually like speedcore gameplay. Chalking all my criticism about this drop to me being biased towards speedcore gameplay, I feel like that would be incredibly childish. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this because I need a shit.